Please sit in any meditative posture. Become completely comfortable. Hands on your knees in Jnana or Chin Mudra. The head, neck, shoulders, back, all in a straight line. Eyes and mouth gently closed. Become aware of the whole body from the top of your head to your toes. Awareness of your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, back, abdomen, lower back, hips, both the legs, the whole body. Awareness of the posture of the body parts, and the muscular tone in all the body parts. Shift your awareness to your breath and the breathing process. Awareness of the spontaneous natural breath, awareness of the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. I am aware that I'm breathing in and I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Shift your awareness to your eyebrow center, Bhumadhya, and at the Bhumadhya, visualize the form of a brightly burning candle flame. Observe the shape of the candle flame, observe the glow, the radiance. Let the image be as vivid and lifelike as possible. And now, maintaining awareness of this experience, we shall chant the mantra Om 3 times together, followed by the Shanti mantras, taking in a deep breath. Together. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Bring the palms closer together, rub them against each other, place them on the closed eyes. Experience the warmth radiating from the palms to the eyes. And then, when comfortable, when the palms have cooled down a bit, then move the palms away, open your eyes. Hari Om, Tat Sat, Namo Narayan, and a warm welcome to all the participants to this orientation session for the workshop. The workshop is becoming an elder, not just growing older. And this is a workshop which focuses on discovering those aspects of yourself which we perhaps have forgotten and have not been able to connect to all the senior citizens who are in this workshop. I would like to pay my respects and offer congratulations to all of you for successfully having completed two major journeys of your life. And some of you would have already started, and others are starting the third stage of the journey. And today we are going to understand a little bit more about this journey to make it a little bit easier because there's so much of information and a short time. So, therefore, I shall be sharing a short PowerPoint presentation through which you can understand this. After the presentation, then we will have a short discussion so that we can understand the aim of this workshop better and know how it will make a difference in our life. So let me start the presentation. Are you able to see my screen? Yes. Okay. So this is the orientation session for the workshop Becoming an Elder, Not Just Growing Older. And this workshop is the first of the series in the Yogic Vaanprasth Lifestyle Series. We'll understand more about it soon. What does becoming an elder mean? We spoke of being older, we speak of being an elder. There is a subtle difference between the two. When we say we are growing older to a child of 4, 5, 6, 7 years, that is an indication that the child is growing up and he is on the rising curve. But then later on, the child grows into an adult and then there goes a plateau. And after that, we come into a lowering of the curve. And then we say that we are growing older. So, this is a phenomena of the body. Our body grows, increases in size, increases in ability, and then we have a plateau wherein the physical growth has come to a equilibrium, but the mental growth, emotional growth, and abilities increase. And then there is a reduction in the physical capacity. What does elder mean? When we say he is elder, वो हमसे बड़े हैं. तो बड़े का मतलब क्या होता है? We generally assign being an elder is somebody to whom we look up to. And why do we look up to that person? Because that person has something more than what we have. We have some abilities, that person has more abilities. It need not only be technical abilities, but the ability of living life. Life is not a scope of digital activities, zero and one, yes and no. There are lots of ifs and buts in life. When we manage the ifs and buts of life correctly, only then we make a progress. Otherwise, we get into accidents. So when we have been able to navigate the ifs and buts of life, then we receive some wisdom, some maturity, a clarity, And with that comes compassion, peace, and there is something which is attractive of such a person. There is an inner glow. Naturally, everybody doesn't grow into an elder. You have to become an elder. It indicates that there is active effort needed. If it was just growing older, then fine, everybody grows older. It's a natural phenomena, it's not in our hands. But to become an elder, you need to put in conscious and systematic effort. That is the essence of being an elder. Now, since we are speaking about life, it is essential to understand what is life, what is the aim of life, what do we do in life. When we are just born and we are undertaking activities, initially we don't know much and we have a lot of curiosity, lot of questions, and the time is spent in trying to assimilate lots of new information. And when we assimilate them, we try to make sense out of it and we interact. And that is how we grow. But I grow. What does this mean? Who am I? Because if it is the body that we are speaking about, then this body is undergoing change all the time. Although the shape appears to be the same, but the individual cells are changing all the time. So it doesn't seem likely that I am the body. Am I the senses? Am I the emotions? Am I the mind? You see, these were the questions which came to many people. As we move ahead in life, we grow, we learn, we take on responsibilities, we have lots of desires, ambitions, we fulfill all of them, we work towards doing what is needed to be done. But then a question slowly starts arising about the finer aspects, the subtler aspects of life. And at that time, initially, there was a thought which is spoken of very subsequently in the Charvak Darshan. They considered that this body is all that is to my personality. I am no more than this body. Yes, perhaps I'm the senses, I'm the emotions, and also the mind, but that is all what is there. So they summarized their teachings in one shloka. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. Runam krutva घृतं पिबेत् भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य पुनरागमनं कुतः. They say, as long as you live, live luxuriously, live happily. There is no tomorrow. Today is the time. So therefore, go out, take a loan, take EMI, do anything what is needed so that you can live a lavish life, a comfortable life, a luxurious life. Because this body is going to be destroyed sooner or later. And there's no question. Once it is destroyed, I am dead, I am gone. So why wait for some later time? Now is the moment to enjoy. And enjoyment is the goal of life. So people enjoyed their life, did everything what is possible. There are stories in Puranas where a king was not satisfied with his youth. He took the youth of his son, the king's son, and enjoyed even that so that he had more time to enjoy. But a time came in history when this king felt, what am I doing? Is this what I have to do? No, 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 no. There is something different. There's something more than just the sensorial and sensual pleasures of life. They are good, no doubt. The kingdom, the luxuries, the comforts, the joys, the happiness. All that is good, but there is something more to write. Something made him dissatisfied, and he started searching for higher things in life. And that is where the Shad Darshans of India slowly started. And they came to a conclusion. And these conclusions are very nicely spoken of in the four Mahavakyas. The Vedantic philosophy speaks of the Mahavakyas. Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma, Tat Tvam Asi. Aham Brahmasmi. There is something which is beyond the mind that is called as Brahman, and I am that. The essence of this individual is that. Same thing, Prajnanam Brahma, knowledge is Brahman, and this Atma which is there within me is Brahman. And then they say, that art thou, you are that. So these means that there is something more to life than just physical living. And to be able to connect to that is, let us say, the essence of being an elder. And obviously, it needs a lot of systematic effort. And our society created a system so that the life of an individual can be divided into four stages, four phases. Initially, we are acquiring knowledge, information, learning. The body is growing, mind and brain are growing, abilities are increasing, they are on the rise. We need to regulate them properly, train them properly so that we can use them better. Once we have trained ourselves, then we are ready to actually do the connecting the dots, assimilating them, and undertaking responsibilities, commitments, working out our desires and ambitions. That is the next phase of life. Having done all of that, then is the time that we have to take a step back, observe, analyze. I thought something was the knowledge. I learned it. I went ahead. I did lots of things. Now let me step back a bit, observe what is correct, what is not correct, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate. Let's have a look at that. So we have to evaluate what we did, how it happened, try to go deeper, understand. Once we go deeper, we understand, oh, there is something more to life than just the body. Then we have to rediscover what that means, what is spoken of by the Vedantic philosophy. And then we realize that I alone am not responsible for the success in my life. The society plays a very important role. And then the desire comes in to reach out and give back to society what we have received, the positive things, not the negative, by the way. So that is the third stage. And having completed this stage, then we get into that stage where we are ready to transcend the limitations of the body. So these are the four stages in life. And becoming an elder comes under the Vanaprastha ashram system. And so this is the Yogic Vaanprasth Lifestyle Series. What does Vanaprastha mean? A Sanskrit scholar very beautifully summarized it. Vane pratisthati sa vanaprasthaha. Yasmin ashrame vanaprastham karoti vane nivasam karoti sa trutiyah ashramaha vanaprastha ashramaha iti uchyate. When one stays in the forest, that is vanaprastha, proceeding to the forest, and having proceeded there, you stay there, you establish yourself in that, you integrate yourself into that. You don't live there like a guest, coming there for 3 days and then going back. No, you stay there. You become an inhabitant over there. You are affected by that, and you allow nature to affect you and mold you. When that happens, that is Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is not just physically going to the forest. No. What does forest indicate? Forest is that ecosystem where human interferences are minimal or not at all present. Everything is in the lap of nature, and the nature and the natural flows work on the elephants, on the lions, on the tigers, on the trees, on the monkeys, on the birds. Every piece of living and non-living element is governed by those principles. And so, therefore, they are in complete attunement with nature. That is what we need to start doing, connecting to that natural phenomena and aligning ourselves to that. And one who slowly, step by step, establishes oneself in this natural phenomena is able to connect ourselves deeper with it. And when that happens, then we start looking at the entire world as ours. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is my family. And you will see once that starts happening, the heart starts expanding. Automatically, the connection deepens and wisdom starts dawning. We start knowing what to do, we start knowing what not to do. This ability to connect within is what is very essential and important. So, when that happens, then we say we are going into the Vanaprastha. Now, we need to also understand that when we are in Vanaprastha, does it mean that we start becoming indifferent to the world? No, we don't become indifferent to the world. But this is that stage in life where we have been through the emotional upheavals, intellectual upheavals, social upheavals, maybe even economic upheavals. And all these upheavals have taught us many lessons. Sometimes we also become a little bit bitter, a little bit morose, a little bit dejected. And since our society at the moment works on the principle of here and now, only this body exists, nothing beyond this body. Therefore, there is a mad effort to keep on because I am the body, I am not beyond this body. So let me preserve the body in its beauty, in its youth. So we are making an effort to remain youthful in looks, but not in vigor, vitality, enthusiasm, by in flexibility. Youth, children, they are extremely flexible. If there is a problem, they can immediately come out with a solution. At this age, we want, oh no, I know everything. You listen to me. But is that what it should be there? When we start doing that, it indicates we are stagnating. We are not growing further. So, what is the third stage of growth? The body has grown, the mind has grown. In Brahmacharya ashram, the body is growing. In Grihastha ashram, the mind and the mental faculties are growing, and our abilities are being tested, and we are working. So, then what is there to be learned now? Now is the time that we have to understand what is the goal of life. Swamiji used to say that beyond 60, we need to start getting ready for the next journey. If I have to travel from a hot country like India to the North Pole or South Pole, then what are the items that I will take with me? Will I take a cooler? Will I take a refrigerator? Will I take a fan or will I take a heater? Will I take socks? Will I take jackets? I will obviously take jackets so that I can protect myself from the cold. In the same manner, now in the third phase of life, we are getting ready for the journey ahead. And when we say we are getting ready for the journey ahead, then we have obviously realized that there is something more to us than the body. Very, very clearly spoken about in the Gita and in all the scriptures. Lord Krishna tells that just as you change a shirt or a trouser or a dress, in the same way, the Atma, who is the resident of this body, he just changes the body and takes another body. The shirt does not realize that it is a shirt and it is being changed. In the same way, the body is being changed. But beyond the body, there is something known as the Atma. And perhaps we have not spent any time thinking about this. Scriptures enjoin us to slowly start trying to understand this. Because sooner or later, we have to leave this body. Till today, since the beginning of time, nobody, without exception, nobody has managed to live on forever. But this desire to live on forever is there. Why? Because there is something which lives on. And that something which lives on is that Atma, the spark which is within us. Now is the time that we have to slowly start going within. And when we go within, then we find that there is a great treasure which is within us. And we can start discovering that treasure. And when we discover that treasure, then we are with newer challenges, newer opportunities, newer options. This is what we have to start discovering. Old age is not a time for depression, morose, regrets, sorrow, neglect. No. Old age is an opportunity to become an elder, to grow wiser, to understand deeper, connect higher, so that those are abilities which are at the moment hidden can come up. That is the aim of Vanaprastha. And to be able to work towards that, this workshop has set few goals. First, we need to re-evaluate our goals, redefine them. And once we are clear what we need to do, we have to rededicate ourselves to it. When we are in class 5, then the curriculum is for class 5. But the moment you go into class 6, you don't study class 5 stuff. That is done, that has been integrated. And if you have made mistakes over there, so be it. You can't go back and change that. When you go to class 7, you take that with you. And that's why there is a lot of accumulated baggage. Do we really have to work with this baggage? Is there a way where we can trim this baggage? Yes, there is. Yoga shows the way. If I have made a mistake, if I have erred, if I have hurt somebody, if I have done some wrong to somebody, I can correct it. How? That is what we will be learning in this workshop. Another thing, at this age, our body is slowly starting to feel the effect of the misuse we have subjected it to for the last 50 or 60 or 70 years. So there are some imbalances and diseases which might have started coming in. We need to integrate some yogic practices by which we can correct these physical ailments, mental and emotional ailments, social ailments. Man is a social creature. Man is not an individual creature. So we need to work and remain connected. The internet is connecting machines, but what about connecting the hearts? There is also another cloud beyond the cloud of the internet that is known as Akasha. And in Akasha, there are all people who are apparently different, but they are same. How can we connect to that? Connectivity, that is very essential. And then finally, the spiritual health. Because the spiritual knowledge and spiritual aspect is the root of this body. If we do not nourish the roots, nurture the roots, the tree is not going to flower and flourish. We have forgotten at times to respect the roots. So, this is the time that we can correct that and nourish the roots. As I mentioned, we will be having some yogic practices. Most of us have been practicing asana and pranayam for a long time. So therefore, I will not be focusing on asana pranayam. I will be dealing with it. I will be touching on it, but I will not be focusing more on that because at this stage of life, we do need asana pranayam, but there is something much more. The focus in yoga in this workshop will be on bandhas and mudras. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it is very clearly mentioned that if we work with the bandhas and mudras, specific bandhas and mudras, then one can even reverse aging, old age. And when there are some masters, they can even conquer death. It is very clearly mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. We might think that these practices are very difficult, but they are not. They are quite simple. The system, the methodology needs to be understood properly. And I will be introducing some of these in the stage one, in the first module. Once we are familiar with them, we go to the next in the next module, and then final third module, we cover all of them. So that is the part. Using meditative practices, we will be working with ourselves, relaxation and mantra. Mantra is a very powerful tool by which we can change ourselves. If I want to start the TV, I don't have to walk and press the button there. I can be 10 feet away. I just press the button of the remote and voila, the TV has started. How? Because when I press the button, there is a wave, a sound wave, which is emitted from this remote control. It goes and creates a difference. If I want to talk to somebody in the other part of the world, I have this device called the mobile, and I can talk to anybody anywhere. Again, processing of sound and wonders are possible. Tell me, is there not a process by which we can harness sound and work on those centers within? There is. And that is the science of mantra yoga. And we will be invoking that too. So we will be using different practices. In addition to that, there will be a lot of self work. This is not just a session where you are working for one, you are doing yoga for 1.5 hours. No, you have to take it with you beyond. Of course, you have to continue doing whatever else you are doing. That is very essential because otherwise you won't be able to integrate these practices in our day-to-day life. But you need to be aware. You need to have some personal activity. That is very essential. And slowly and slowly, you have to create your own schedule. How you are going to integrate that in your life. Because remember, your goals are different, your objectives are different. The global scope is the same, but individually, everyone has his or her own goals, objectives. That is what we will need to work with. So, we have to learn to analyze, observe, accept, learn, and heal ourselves. And so, I have divided our sessions into different parts. What are the lessons that we learned in childhood? What are the mistakes which we made in childhood? What are those points for which we are not able to forgive ourselves or others? That is what we will try to bring out in the first session. And the second session will be to heal, to learn, to know how we make use of it in the life today. Because until and unless we have not healed ourselves, we have not forgiven ourselves, we have not forgiven ourselves or forgiven others, it's not going to work. It is just like the boat which was been there was a group of people who were there on the banks of the river. At night they had a nice party and they got into the river and said we will go across the river and go to our home. They got into the river and they were rowing away merrily. They had a party, so they were in merry mood. And the whole night they were rowing away. They didn't realize it. The whole night passed. And in the morning they saw they are wherever they were. They had not moved anywhere because they had forgotten that there was an anchor which had held the boat to the post on the banks. They had to unhook it. So therefore they were rowing away merrily and the water was flowing away merrily, but they were not going anywhere. So there are such hooks in our lives. We need to unhook from that. Then our ships progress ahead. So the first two sessions for events in our childhood and their relevance in today's times in current present situation. Next two sessions for young adulthood and what we have experienced and learned over there, to forgive ourselves, to learn from it, and whatever is not needed, those experiences we just need to get rid of so that we are not carrying that unnecessary baggage on our shoulders. Then the middle age, then the elder ages. This is the time what we have to do now. So we have looked at the past. Now we have to see what we have to do next and what we have to assimilate, how we have to shape things. So, in this manner, we will be working with ourselves, we will be working towards self improvement, we will be working towards self enrichment, contentment, happiness, good health on a physical level, mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level. So, this is in a nutshell what we will be undertaking in this workshop, which will be starting from Thursday. So, that is how we will be planning our time, rediscovering ourselves. That is the crux, that is the motto, that is what is essential for us. And this will be a journey of self discovery. So, it doesn't have to be heavy, it doesn't have to be sad, it doesn't have to be dragging. It has to be light, lively, happy, uplifting. It also doesn't have to be something which takes us deep within only, because going within alone is not the answer. There has to be a balance between the inner and the outer. The Ishavasya Upanishad mentions very clearly that if you just remain extroverted, you are doomed. And if you just remain introverted and only introverted, you are you are bound to go to a fate which is worse than what is outside. So then what has to be done? A golden mean, balancing between introversion and extroversion so that it is mutually beneficial. Introversion helps extroversion, extroversion helps introversion, and both together are like two wings which help us fly. Only one wing is of no use, only other wing is of no use. Both the wings is something which we need. And that is what we will be discovering for ourselves. That is what we will be working with ourselves and moving forward. So that is how we can learn for ourselves better. And now, if you have any questions or any doubts which you would like to ask, we have about half an hour with us. So if you have any doubt, any question, or anything which is not clear, you are free to ask, and we can see what can be done. You can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put the question in the chat box.
Swamiji, this is going to be online?
Yes, this will be an online session. It will be every Tuesday and Thursday, and it will be 6:30 to 7:45, 1 hour 15 minutes, twice a week. For we will be having 9 sessions altogether.
So it will be like in the morning, right? In the morning. I mean, my morning.
It will be in your morning time. Yes, it will be in the evening time at India time and morning time USA time.
And how much work are we going to do? How much, when you say there will be some swadhyaya, we will do some homework. So what kind of homework and how long will it take?
You see, the most important homework will be the when we are going to do the meditative practices. We, as I mentioned, let us take an example in childhood, in the area of childhood. In the first session, we will be revisiting childhood and trying to look at our experiences and what were good experiences, what were bad experiences, what were scars which we had, what were the nice flowers we had. And we have to understand that what is the impact of that in today's life. Maybe somebody scolded me, and since then I am a nervous wreck. Today also I am a nervous wreck. But when I go back, I realize, oh, at that point somebody scolded me, and since then I'm a nervous wreck. I'm just giving examples. So we need to understand that and then need to work on it. This is what is going to be the most important aspect. And depending on how much time we have, we can spend, it can be even 15 minutes, it can be half an hour, it can be 5 minutes on the go. Because suppose you are traveling and you are sitting in the bus or car or whatever, you have time to yourself, you can think over, you can understand, you can assimilate, and then work out, make notes so that you can understand. So this is something which we have to do based on how much we can handle, because some experiences are very painful. They can't come out immediately. It takes time. So this is work in progress. It is not that at the end of 1 month we have all learned everything and we have become experts. No, this is a beginning towards a longer journey. So we have to take it at our pace. But I would suggest if you can spend 15 minutes to half an hour, that will be excellent.
15 minutes to half an hour for every session or every day? Every day?
Every day at your own convenience, where you can sit down and think about things, make notes, analyze, observe, and see what needs to be done, what can be done, and so on and so forth.
Thank you.
Namo Narayan Swamiji, I am Yashoda.
Yes, Yashoda.
Yeah, if you join the session and because of some unavoidable situation, 1 or 2 session, if we are going to miss, means can we manage it?
Yes, of course. See,
Yeah.
none of the things which will be spoken here will be only for in that session. We will be always carrying things forward.
Yes.
And we can always interact, we can always ask, I'm always available. You can send me a message if you are at beyond class times. If you have any doubt, you can always contact, you can, and as soon as I have some time, we can always get into communication, and we can take it from there.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes. Thank you.
Swamiji, will there be a recording available?
There will be a recording, I will be recording, but I am still in two minds whether to make it available, for a simple reason that I have seen that the moment it is made available to people, many people feel, recording hai na, so hum baad mein recording dekh lenge. And if people do it that way, then they are missing the beauty of it. So perhaps what I might do is recording is available for those who have attended the sessions, not because I want to penalize others, but otherwise the essence is lost. It's the practices are very easy. You can always look up into the books, but how to do it, until and unless we don't interact, we will not be able to understand it. So therefore, in exceptional cases, yes, I can, we can see what can be done, but recording can be utilized as something to refer back to. So I can keep recording available for those who have attended for a week or so that they can remember it, refresh it. And I also plan to make some notes and give it to you so that you can, as you are practicing, you also understand what is happening, and you can also keep your notes. So there is a reference.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So if there are any other questions, you can ask now, or you can also, most of you are already in. Is there anybody here who is not on any of the WhatsApp groups?
Yes, Swamiji. Myself, Santosh Kumar from Patna.
Okay.
I have got the reference from one of my friend, Mr. Sivendra
Okay.
Satyarthi. So I joined
Okay.
today, but I am not in the WhatsApp group.
Fine. So if you can just send me your details, I will add you to the WhatsApp group so that then communication becomes easier.
Sure, sir.
In fact, let me see if I can put the link for the invite. Santoji, you can add your details into the chat box, and I will take it from there. And I am also putting in the
Details, name, mobile number, email ID.
bus. That's all what is.
Age.
वो सब बाद में हमको आप भेज सकते हैं, एज एंड ऑल, वो रजिस्ट्रेशन जब आप करेंगे।
जी जी, तो मैं अभी अभी नंबर में भेज दे रहा हूँ, जस्ट
हाँ,
नेम
नंबर
एंड
भेज दीजिए।
नेम एंड मोबाइल
यस
नंबर।
यस
जी
यस
जी,
यस।
नमो नारायण।
एंड
Swami,
या
these are going to be paid session.
यस जी, यस। And you can have the link which is there on the website. I will also let me put that in here. The registration. I have added the registration link. It is available on the website satyamsumiran.org, and you can go and see in the upcoming workshops. You will see this workshop. You can register over there. संतोष जी, आपने डिटेल्स भेज दिए हैं क्या?
जी अभी जस्ट डाल रहे हैं स्वामी जी।
ओके, हाँ ठीक है। नहीं, आई डिडंट सी दैट, आई वाज अ बिट कंसर्न। नमो नारायण राधिका जी, लॉन्ग टाइम, हाउ आर यू? राधिका,
Namo Narayan Swamiji.
नमो नारायण, हाउ आर यू? लॉन्ग
I'm
टाइम।
doing good. Yeah, long
doing
time. It's
good?
a very long time.
You are here still. You were in I think Nehru, right? If I remember
Nehru,
right.
Nehru.
Yes. Still
Very,
here.
very good memory, Swamiji. Excellent memory. Now I was just held up. Now the school has started off, na? We have started off offline. So I was busy with that, and then exams, and then I had some
Okay.
guests. So
Okay. Oh, you are teaching, is it?
yeah, I'm a teacher.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That is nice. That is nice. Good, good. Okay. So, but now, so I thought the school holidays have started.
No, now it is vacation.
Now it is vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That
Now
is
it's
good.
vacation. And morning session, I had as I had already mentioned you, due to my sleep disorder, I could not attend a few sessions.
No worries.
So
no
today
worries.
I just remembered, I just saw the message. I remembered, I set an alarm and I said, okay,
Aha.
I'll attend.
That's great.
And it is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, we are all
nice.
in that process of going into that.
Connecting.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you
nice.
so much. Yeah.
And also, you see, as a part of the some of the activities from of Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation, we are undertaking some yoga and educational activities for children, especially underprivileged children. So we will be taking, and there are few points which I have been discussing with few people. Since you are also in the teaching area and you are in the same area, I think it will be very nice if you can also join in, and maybe separately in a separate session we can discuss more about it.
Sure, Swami. Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Santoshji, I have received your message. I will add you to the. Okay. So if there are no other queries or questions or anything which you would like to ask, then we can conclude. Namo Narayan Sunita, how are you?
Namo Narayan Swamiji.
Namo Narayan. How is everything?
Oh, good, good. Better. I'm
The health
58.
was
I think this is relevant for me.
perfect time.
Perfect time, no?
Yeah. Because you see, government forces us to retire at 58, right? But our mind doesn't retire. And when we speak of retirement, there is so much of emotional turmoil which come. I know of so many people. Uh, I mean, the day they retired, off from that time, the mind switches off that, oh, now I am of no use to the society. And they just go into a shock. And the society has not taught us, not trained us that there is something else which is there in life, which is much more, and how we can actually make these like years our golden age. Yes, there are physical problems, but when are there no physical problems? There are mental problems, but when is there we don't have mental problems? So, those things do exist, but there is something more how we can discover ourselves. And if you are 58, this is just the correct time because this is the time you are actually moving into it. So it will be good.
Yeah.
And you
Like
have
I've
already
been,
practiced.
yeah.
Yes.
Like I've been thinking this is the time I want to start contributing, giving back. In fact, that is the only thing that's in my mind, but I really as yet don't know what to do or how to go about it or which area. So that is actually a little confusion I'm going through right now.
Mm.
And,
And if you see
like, how do I
the
give back? How do I give back? That is my thing. Yeah.
how do you give back?
Contribute.
See,
Yeah.
I understand that. You see, there are multiple ways. One way is that I have got some sets of skills. Suppose I'm a teacher, suppose I'm a corporate, suppose I'm an executive. So I have some skills. I'm a health uh, professional, whatever is there. And if nothing else, I have got empathy. I care for people. In today's times, if there is one thing which is very essential, and that is reaching out to others. Just, I mean, it is so sad. Just today, I was talking to a healer. That person is not a psychologist, but that person said that yesterday a person came to this healer's clinic and said that I am, I have decided I'm going to commit suicide. I just want to know what is the karmic effect. And then, there was a lot of discussion. And at the end of discussion, everything, the issue was, there was, of course, an issue which had to be sorted out, but things could be sorted out. Why? Because only communication could not happen. So therefore, there are many ways. And you see, Swami Satyanand Ji at Rikhia, he taught us that yoga, there is one yoga which is on the mat. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on my inclination. But there is another yoga which is living yoga. And a part of that living yoga is what Swamiji, if I have to summarize what I could learn of Swamiji's teachings, a simple maxim: reach out to connect within. The teachings which Swamiji gave at Vikhya is serve, love, give. But we don't do it because we are doing charity to others. We do it because we want to connect deeper within. That person who is out there to whom we are giving back to society, as you said, while giving him or her some benefit, we also benefit. So this is the path of mutual benefit. And as a tribute to Swamiji, because next year is Swamiji's birth centenary. So therefore, Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation has decided to undertake 100 activities based on his teachings, including medical camps, including teaching, education for young children, vocational training for elder people, ecological balancing, and multiple such activities. So you are most welcome to join in any of these activities. Some of these activities are online, some are offline. So depending on your convenience, most welcome. Swagatam. ठीक है जी ठीक है. So I think all the questions have been taken care of. Let us conclude today, and then we can, once you have registered, I will send you the link for the link for the workshop will be slightly different. I will send it to you on your registration, and then let's see if we have to create a separate WhatsApp group, or how do we go about doing it. I will let you know. So you just send me your email address. Also in the registration, all those details are. ठीक है. So if there is any difficulty, any doubt, anything which is there in your mind, you can always ask. Namo Narayan. Hari Om.
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
Namo Narayan.
Namo
Namo Narayan Swamiji.